Transit Unplugged TV is expanding to offer more insightful content. Our award-winning travel show delves into the food, fun, and culture of incredible cities worldwide, along with an exclusive look at their public transportation system. Now we're excited to present Behind the Scenes, Interviews and More, a video podcast featuring bonus materials and in-depth interviews with transit leaders from each of our visits. For all the transit enthusiasts out there, this is for you. Tune in 1 week after each regular show to catch these exclusive interviews. You can watch both programs on YouTube. Home of the world's #1 transit travel show, Transit Unplugged TV. Christoph, great to be with you in your OBB headquarters here in downtown Vienna with this amazing view.
Paul, nice to welcome you in Vienna. We're really happy to have you here. We are collaborating with Exhibition for a lot of works, and we are also happy now to cooperate indirectly with Modaxo, with the Modaxo group, very big group. We've explained a lot of things before.
Great.
Yeah?
So to get here, we rode the NightJet, your train, down from Hamburg, Germany, overnight, slept on the train, came all the way down here to Vienna. It was a great experience, about a 12-hour ride. Tell me some about the NightJet.
We are the biggest night train provider in Central Europe. We are running about 40 trains, yeah? From Paris to Hamburg, from Vienna to Budapest, from Amsterdam, and everything like that. We're also cooperating with our Euronight partners. Yeah? We're running 40 trains. We have a very complicated production concept. We call it the production X because trains are splitted and merged, yeah, in both ways. Yeah, and I'm responsible for the revenue management department for doing revenue management also for night trains. It's a very big challenge to do revenue management for night trains because, yeah, when you look at day trains, we are operating about 400 railjet trains in Austria. You have 400 places in the second class, 100 places in the first class. So it's easy to make revenue management, all this demand forecasting, unconstraining the demand and all these things for day trains, but it's very, very complicated to do that for night trains because, for example, you have seating cars, couchettes, and sleeping cars, what you took. And for example, it's a couchette. We have 6 places. It can be a 6-place compartment, a 4-place compartment, but it also can be a mixed compartment, a women's compartment, or a private compartment.
And Christoph, what plans do you have for the future?
I think it's really a good news for our customers that we will offer new night train services, or they're not new, with the new night trains from Vienna to Roma. This will start in September with the new trains. And I do not know if you have noticed that, but the new trains which are running to Italy, there are some more limitations on all these fire extinguishing services and so on, yeah, because in former times it was sufficient to have a fire alert system, and now this system has to extinguish the fire too. So this is the reason why we invested in new NightJet trains, and they will run up from September to Rome.
Great.
So good news for you.
That's exciting, yeah. Christoph, you've got an amazing program here called the Climate Ticket. Tell me about that.
Okay, the Austrian Climate Ticket is a very big innovation from the Austrian Ministry of Climate Protection. With €3 per day, you can ride all means of transport in whole Austria. So that means €1,095 for all means of transport in whole Austria per year. So very cheap for the customer.
So obviously it costs a lot more to do that. So is this service subsidized by the government?
It's subsidized by the Ministry of Climate Protection. As ÖBB, we were the main negotiators with the ministry, and we get subsidized by a Eurocent per passenger kilometer system. And it's the same for all train companies, for all carriers. For example, Westbahn gets the main subsidized as we as ÖBB get.
So, and the name of your Ministry of Transport has been changed.
Yes, Paul, you're right. It was changed some years ago from Ministry of Transport to Ministry of Climate Protection. So it's a very, very wise decision.
So tell us about the Operations Control Center.
The traffic management controls the traffic, the actual traffic on the network. And in case of disruptions, we take measures to keep the impact on our customers as small as possible. There are about 10 traffic managers working round the clock, 7/24.
So how many trains do you control here?
We control about 5,000 trains a day. Most of them are commuter trains, but we also have a lot of long distance trains, especially night trains. We operate about 40 night trains, most of them every day.
Kurt, great to be with you. Tell us some about yourself and the agency you lead.
Yeah, I'm the director of the long distance trains at ÖBB, Austrian Federal Railways, and we do all the national and international long distance services, timetabling, customer experience, pricing, the international negotiations with partners, etc., etc. And I lead the business unit there, the profit center there.
Gotcha. Yeah, you just had a big anniversary yesterday, right?
That's true. In Prague, we had the celebration 10 years of high-speed trains between Prague and Vienna, together with our partner, the Czech Railways.
That's great. And your service participates in the climate ticket, right? Where people can ride your service? Tell us about that.
Absolutely. So for 3 years now, we've got the climate ticket in Austria, which is a public ticket. So it's not owned by any operator, it's done by the administration. And you can ride any public transport, tram, underground, short distance trains, and also long distance and high speed trains, for a very reasonable price.
That's wonderful. And what are your plans for continuing to grow your service?
Well, actually, we are investing more than 6 billion euros
Wow.
On new trains, domestic and short distance trains, commuter trains, but also long distance and high speed trains. And that's what we need to keep up with the passenger growth number we see.
That's great. And how is your ridership doing post-pandemic?
We reached 2019 levels in the domestic, in the regional and suburban transport, and we exceeded around 20% in the long distance and international services.
So Sarah, tell me about what you do at NightJet.
I'm responsible for train interior and design at ÖBB, and I am responsible for the design of the new NightJet.
Tell me about what's unique about the NightJet design.
So I think the unique on the NightJet design is the process which we run through at ÖBB. So we created the design of a new NightJet on our own. So we made a greenfield approach and also invited a Londoner design studio to create a new design with us together. And we totally started from scratch and without any huge limitations. And we created something really unique that hasn't been on the market before.
Yeah, we had the chance to ride the NightJet coming down here from Hamburg, and it was fantastic. Didn't you win an award for that?
Yeah, last year we won an award for the collaboration of the year together with Siemens and Prisman & Good, our design studio, for the new NightJet. And what's also new, we were nominated for the Austrian State Prize for 2022.
That's awesome. Congratulations. And what do you have planned for the future for the NightJet?
So ÖBB is investing a lot of millions in new NightJets as well. So we ordered 20 more NightJets. And of course, we are looking into the operations at the moment, and maybe we improve some further details. But I think, the passengers already love them, and we are happy that there will be more NightJet in the future.
Alexandra, thanks for having us in today to your transit system.
Happy welcome here.
Thank you. Well, tell us about your system here in the city of Vienna.
See, in Vienna, 2 million people are living at the moment, and I'm very proud of it because 2/3 of these take sustainable transport modes for their daily trips. So we are proud of having 1.2 million regular users in our public transport system. They have annual passes, we have students and pupils. And so only about 700 registered cars. And 2/3 of these registered cars are actually company cars. So you see, Viennese are traveling quite sustainably.
That's very exciting. You've got some great new projects on the horizon. Could you tell us about those?
Yes, a lot of projects. We are expanding our network. We are building at the moment a new underground line. It's the U5. We have then 6 underground lines, so the U5 is the latest. That will save a lot of carbon footprints, I would say. But we are also reinvesting in our existing network. And we are building new tram lines, and this is what I really like and I'm proud of, because actually we have the 6th biggest tram network in the world. So regarding that Vienna is not a very large city, I would say that's quite remarkable.
And tell us about your annual pass program.
So since 2012, our annual pass costs 365 euros. So that means €1 per day. You can have the whole network. And I would say that brings us very satisfied riders, and is the reason of our high ridership level on public transport. And this is one of the pull factors, I would say, which is responsible for having these good models shift, because 32% of all trips in Vienna are done with the public transport system. But also 32% are walking, are pedestrians, walking people, and 10% are moving with bikes around the city. So that means 26% are left, and these are the people who are riding a car, who are driving a car.
And lastly, tell us about the Wien Mobile program.
The family Wien Mobil, under the brand Wien Mobil, is my so-called baby.
Okay.
We started it when I started here. This was 2011, when we realized that public transport operator must shift into a mobility service provider, because when you want to get people out of their cars, absolutely, then you must offer them seamless mobility chains. A seamless transfer, the possibility to change between sustainable modes. So this was the reason why we said we have to offer additional services, additional mobility services to our core network of trams, buses and metros. We offer also rental bikes. We have 100 e-cars for sharing, and we are piloting 2 on-demand shuttles at the city borders.
Welcome, Paul, to the U2-U5 construction site. We're here right next to the Vienna City Hall. We are building a completely new subway station here where 2 lines interconnect. It's going to be the U2 and the fully newly built U5, which we currently don't have in Vienna. The 2 lines are going to cross here. We just visited the construction site, which is about 25 meters deep right now. And the U2-U5 is one of the biggest climate and infrastructure projects we have here in Vienna. It is within 2 phases. The first phase, which the station we are currently at is going to be completed, is at the end of 2028. And the second construction phase, which the U2 and U5 will be built further along, is supposed to end, or is supposed to be finished within between 2032 and 2035.
We are now in the city center, and we have electric buses, small electric buses in place for more than 10 years already.
Wow.
And very soon, these will also be replaced by newer, more modern ones.
Michael, tell us about where we're at.
We are at TS Simmering in Vienna. It's the new maintenance building for the new NightJet generation, where we do the scheduled maintenance for the new NightJets.
So how does the maintenance work here?
We do something called modular maintenance, which is the train comes in every couple of days for a duration of 8 hours, compared to at the old NightJets, where they come in for an entire month. And in this 8-hour time frame, we do basically the same things. And the idea behind it, the goal behind it, is that we have a NightJet that comes through maintenance through the day. So we have a train that's operational about 99.9% of the time. So we're in the driver's cab right now, where in the future the train conductor will be able to drive in this direction. At the moment it is not operational because it is not through the regulations yet.
Good. So if I push this, nothing happens?
No.
I'm not going to do it.
I mean, I can explain the levels if you want.
What do they do?
This is your velocity, so on this you say how fast you want to drive.
Okay.
This is basically your gas pedal.
Okay.
So you tell with how much force you want to drive or brake.
All right.
And over here is just your brake.
Okay.
If you pull or push, it will be in rosters for the different kinds of braking intensities. We have the electromagnetic braking system here, which if you want to if you want to brake the train really fast, they will be lowered onto the track itself, and then all of those are electromagnets which are going to be switched on. So the train is going to grip itself tight on the tracks for a quick, so we can brake as quick as possible.
Yeah.
And therefore we can have a way greater braking force than the actual weight of the train.
How fast do these trains go?
Our maximum velocity is 230 kilometers per hour.